emailed or called to slassard@bucksportmaine.gov or 469-7368 if you'd like to call. Roll call, Sue.
Yes. Counselor Eastman.
Here.
Counselor Garvin.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Bissonnette.
Here.
Mayor Stewart.
Here.
Counselor Ormsby.
Here.
Counselor Bishop.
Here.
Counselor Rankin.
Here.
Item 3 is presentation of town council recognitions. We have none. 4 is consider minutes of previous meetings. We have council minutes from 10/12/23. How would the council like to proceed?
Motion to approve. Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Correspondence, we have a Verona police call on 10/28/23. Questions on that? Item 6 is ordinances to consider. We have a second reading for the update to the town code, chapter 4, to increase the planning board wages by $5 per meeting. If there's no questions, we'll have a public hearing on this on December 14th. Next item, discussion, infrastructure committee update.
Yep, we met this evening and discussed 2 items, Ian's Playground and the Bucksport Performing Arts Center. And from that, we agreed to form a committee to explore new equipment for the playground and made a recommendation to fund repairs to the Performing Arts Center.
Questions? And there will be a resolve, I understand, for the next meeting for the Performing Arts Center? Do you think you'll have a committee established or for the playground? How are we gonna work that? You're gonna,
I can work with Rick to get that established.
okay. Item 8 is agenda items. First is resolve 2024-23 to approve the ambulance purchase. How would the council like to proceed?
Motion approved.
Second.
Questions? Chief Denning, anything? All those,
The only thing I'd add is we're looking at about 2.5 years for delivery and payment.
so yeah, payment's not due until it's delivered, right?
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah, so we're looking at worst case probably May of 2026 for 2.5 years, so, yeah.
So we'll approve it?
Absolutely. Let's do it. Get on it.
All those in favor? Opposed? Next is resolve 2024-24 to approve the use of ambulance reserve funds for repeater. How would the council like to
Motion
proceed?
approve.
Second, I forget the amount on that repeater.
44,000, something like that?
4,000.
Yeah,
A little over 4.
right, a little
Yeah.
over 4. Yeah.
4,425.
Any other questions? All those in favor? Opposed? Next is resolve 2024-25, the municipal review committee ballot. We have a recommendation for
Paula Scott.
Paula Scott from Hamden to be the representative. How would the council like to proceed?
Motion to approve.
Second,
Questions? All those in favor? Opposed? Item D is resolve 2024-26 to approve the sewer commitment for July 1st to September 30th, 2023. How would the council like to proceed?
Motion to approve. Second.
Questions? All those in favor? Next is resolve 2024-21 to approve the contract for the Central Street MPI project. How would the council like to proceed?
Motion approved. Second.
Any questions? I hope everybody had a chance to read through the information that was sent. There was a reduction on the price. Rich, we talked about that Wardwell was gonna pick up the other cost on the piece that they didn't do, right?
That's correct.
All those in favor? Opposed? Passes?
This fixes the last really terrible
Right.
road we have and would then be turned over to the town to be part of our regular maintenance rather than waiting 10 years between things for the state to do it, so.
And you said, Rich, the last part of Franklin Street was done too, right? Oh, I was just asking you a question, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay. The,
I got you, I know I got you out of your
Yeah.
comfortable space over there,
well, I had a
but.
microphone right there, 'cause I just sat down. The walls were completed, and the sidewalks were returned to existing condition, so anything that was previously asphalt, that's the Franklin Street side. The Central Street side went back to grass. It was loamed, seagrass in the spring. and the detectables, not only by the wall, but also on the landing spot on the other side, on the Central Street side was installed. So that project is all done. We're just waiting for them to clean up the materials, and then they'll be sending their request for the final check.
Nice. And I think a lot of this goes to what we've been talking about, anyway, about making this look better and improving all these things to,
We have 1 year left in this project.
right?
To
That wall
have
looks
done,
good.
redone all
Yeah.
of the walls in town, so.
They look awesome.
Rich has done an amazing job in funding and
So we
organizing.
already called him up here, we don't need him
Oh,
up here.
okay, sorry.
No, he has, absolutely, yes. Item 9 is election results.
Yes, the election results are posted on the town's Facebook page and on the front page of the town's website. The incoming councilors will be, Councillor Eastmill will be returning, and Tracy Hare will be joining us at the beginning of January.
Great.
That and the 2 school board candidates, Abigail Foster and Tom Foster, were also elected to school board positions, and the
Code?
that it's
No, I know. It's not.
charter,
Charter,
the
thank you.
charter amendment that ups the council's wages was adopted and will go into effect in January of this year for the rate that was voted in the current year budget, and as part of the coming year budget, you'll set a rate which will go into effect the next January, and it will be done annually from now on without needing to go to a charter review.
Great. Congratulations, Mark, Tracy. Thank you to everybody else that ran. Appreciate that, and please continue service regardless of winning or losing, and I know you will, so. Next is approval of quick claims. First is a quick claim deed, map 021, lot 037 to T&N Land Trust. How would the council like to proceed?
Motion approved.
Second.
That
Question?
is the property at 1861 State Route 46,
Nice.
which is fortunately
Soon to be given to somebody else.
soon to be the property of another individual who is, it was an out-of-state purchaser, but they also have property in Dedham, so.
All those in favor? We did have a motion, right?
Yes.
Okay. Opposed? Man, I'm losing it. Item 11 is town manager report.
Yes, just
Yeah.
1 second, I have to find the thing you need to sign.
Oh, yeah.
You're not looking for this, are you?
No, that was the.
No, that's not the right
Oh,
one.
that is.
That is a quick
T&N.
claim deed.
That is the quick claim deed, so I need, you
You
need
need
the sewer,
you need to sign the sewer commitment.
the sewer commitments, what?
That's gonna be way towards the front.
We are not on our A game.
Well, way past schedule we are already, according to Paul.
Well, this is,
Thanks
you
for
had somebody who was
there's no
actually
games
a
tonight.
clerk,
We're good.
they'd be doing a better job of it than I am, but trying to
Oh, there
wear
is a
both
game.
hats is sometimes a little challenging. Okay. Holy moly. This is the sewer commitment.
Got it.
Okay. Tom Foster from RSU 25 School Committee reached out to ask for a town councillor from Bucksport to participate in the search process for a new superintendent when Superintendent Boothby retires in 2024. They will begin meeting after the first of the year, and an elected representative from each board/council in the district is being asked to participate. Please let me know if you're interested. This is a critical hire for the district and the community. We've been blessed for many years with a superintendent that is all about collaboration and cooperation between the town and the school, and I think it is important that that continues.
Sue, I'd like to recommend Councilor Orsby for that, please.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Council Ormsby, do you want?
I don't remember that being a question.
It was not a question.
That's not part of this.
Okay, we have received a request from the attorney for the owner of the spring fountain to remove the lien we have on the property related to the legal costs of the dangerous building order and the ongoing legal issues that we have. which has still not had a court date until such time as the matter is decided in court. We had originally placed the lien at the time that a buyer was working to purchase the property, and they had indicated it was better if all costs associated with the property were identified, and that the legal costs, at a minimum, for the dangerous building order were part of that. That sale fell through, as have several others. However, we had negotiated an agreed-upon number for the lien with the attorney for the owner of the spring fountain as part of that original sale, which was not the entire lien, but the portion that paid for the cost of the town's preparation of the dangerous buildings order, and the owner had agreed to that. But now is asking that we remove the entire lien from that property, and so we received that request through our attorney, and I'm asking what the council wishes to do with it. Do you want it removed from the account until the court resolves the issue, or do you want to leave it alone?
What does the attorney say?
The attorney
Our
says
attorney.
it's our
Decision.
decision.
My instinct says where it's pending in court, we don't change a thing.
No.
I would agree.
Luke has more.
Our attorney recommends that we remove the lien and then put it back in place at the time that it does sale, or the court makes their ruling.
Did he explain the rationale?
He did, but I don't remember.
Does he
But
think
that
it
was-
We
will
don't-
sell quicker without a lien on it, or? It doesn't matter, right?
That isn't the issue. The disagreement over this, the lien and the amount that was negotiated with the owner. The owner was aware the lien was there, the amount that would actually be charged for the lien if they had a sale was agreed to by the owner. So, with all due respect, the attorney's recommendation is take it on and take it off and put it back. They agreed to an amount. No, Luke is right, but
How does that change anything? If you have a lien on it and somebody's gonna buy it?
we're not foreclosing on the lien. The concern was, could we foreclose on this lien? And that we're not going to foreclose on this lien, but it sits on the account.
Is that to make it more palatable to a buyer so that they don't have this unknown, or I don't understand the reason?
The original buyer that asked us to do this was so that all costs related to the property that had to be satisfied at the time of sale were identified, and they knew what the numbers would be. And that and we had every right to place a lien for the cost of the dangerous building order itself, the preparation for that. We included all of our legal fees to that point, which was now 2 years ago. But when the buyer, the owner came back and said, we negotiated to a number that basically represented just the cost of placing the dangerous building order, which was around $11,000. And they agreed to that. As a matter of fact, every buyer that they've had since then, the attorney for the owner has asked if that number is still the valid number. So the idea of, this came about because when a tax payment was sent in, the town's practice is to apply it to the oldest year of tax. And we would have applied it to that lien, and he didn't want it applied to the lien. He wanted to apply it to the current year of tax. I agreed to do that because we are still waiting on a court thing, but we haven't sent out any kind of, the town isn't going to use that lien to foreclose. The town is using that lien to retain its right to.
And that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at, is that it's there for a purpose. It's not there to be vindictive or anything else. We have a legitimate purpose to have that lien in place so.
They agreed to the
Again,
Well, and that's
amount.
just
the
it.
reasoning is to
Well,
assist agreement.
well, is it, am I being too cynical to ask this question? If this loan was originally negotiated for a certain price, and we're asked to drop that that lien, if we have to renegotiate a lien, are we really gonna sit here and assume that we're gonna renegotiate that lien up?
Right.
We're gonna be asked to negotiate that lien down.
Right.
And
Yeah, I'd rather see them bring a valid buyer and try to negotiate this than to play this game of, okay, we remove the lien, but we're gonna put it, I don't know.
Right.
I mean,
what
if we lose in court, the lien will go.
Sure.
If we win in court, the lien will go way up,
That's right.
because all the legal fees from
That
From
have
that
since
point on.
then.
now will get added onto it, which is 20 times what the building lien.
I can't see the reason to remove it.
no, I
don't think it
that
makes
doesn't make
sense
any
to
sense to
remove
me.
I mean, if they come with a buyer and they wanna talk about it or anything, we can talk, but I just don't see the point of removing it.
It isn't inhibiting, that there've been a number of very viable offers on this property, and that lien hasn't, as I said, the question was, is that negotiated amount, is that still good? Because my last response was, we're getting years beyond when it was negotiated.
Yeah, we've added a lot of expense to that.
Yeah.
If we took it off, would we put it back on at the higher level?
Depends on when you put it back on. If you put it back on, if we prevail in court, we can
Get to above and beyond anyway.
do, well, depending on what the ruling is, we can.
I'd rather not change it.
My opinion, this is a request, we've denied the request. I mean, that's, I guess, where I'm at. Yep.
Agreed.
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 You need a motion?
Do we need a motion to deny a request?
I don't believe so.
I mean, this wasn't any formal, he's
This
just.
wasn't, I can put it on the agenda as a formal item if you want
No,
me to do so.
I think it
Yeah,
was,
let them come back to us. if it's-
yeah, I mean, he asked you for a request and it's been denied,
We have an agreement in place.
correct?
Yeah, if we don't make any changes, that agreement stands. Right? Mike?
That's the way I'm,
Yeah.
Well, we have a legal document that was prepared that, between the two parties, on what we actually would do. And we haven't reneged on that, or said that we wouldn't anyway. Okay, the loss of Brother Don last week was a big one for the community. Not only was he the heart and soul of the Friars business, he was a valued friend and community member who had a large impact here, and he will be missed. But we also recently lost David Grant. David served as the deputy harbor master for the town for many years and served on many committees, including most recently the planning board. It's been a tough several weeks. If we could have just a moment of silence for these men who gave so much to the community, I would appreciate it. Thank you. I have hired George Dakin of Stockton Springs as a deputy clerk for the town office. Jackie Hunt has taken over the town clerk duties from Jacob, and our plan is to train George over the next year to take over the clerk position when Jackie retires at the end of 2024. He assisted at the recent election and is catching on to the computer system and programs very quickly. It is great to have the office back to full strength, and I want to thank Ann Holmes, Cassie Allison, Jackie Hunt, and Rachel Allen for keeping things moving smoothly and efficiently since Jacob left on the 22nd of September. We have a great crew in the front office, and I appreciate their extra efforts during this transition period. I want to also thank Jackie Hunt and her staff for conducting another well-run election here in Bucksport. Thanks also to our former clerk, Jacob Grand, for coming in to assist with opening and closing the election. Thanks also to all the candidates who ran for office. We are very fortunate here in Bucksport to have so many people who want to be involved in helping chart the course for Bucksport's future.
Thank you. Any questions? Item 12 is public hearings and approval of licenses. First is a public hearing for General Assistance Ordinance Appendices Update 2023. I'll open the public hearing. This is a yearly thing that we do for updating all the appendices for general assistance, overall food, housing, utilities, heating and fuel, personal care, household supplies, mileage, funeral expenses, and recovery expenses. It's just, again, an update to the appendices that are there. Numbers have changed a little bit, but any questions? Close the public hearing. All those in favor?
Okay.
Opposed?
And did we have a motion?
I don't think so, now that you mention it. No.
Motion approved. Second.
There it is.
We now have a motion and a second.
Thank
All those in
you.
favor? Opposed is 7-0.
Can you send me a copy of those so I can update the ordinance?
Next is a new license for Dancing Chef LLC, DBA Verona Wine, liquor license, food service license, and business license. I assume this is the new ownership of the Verona Wine. Very nice. How the council like to proceed?
Motion approved. Second.
Did you get that one? That was an echo.
You got everybody.
Who made the motion? I thought Ed.
Dan made the motion.
Okay.
Don't get too far ahead of you.
Wouldn't take much.
All those in favor? Opposed? Passes. Next is a festival license for the Bucksport Bay Business Coalition for tree lighting. How would the council like to proceed?
Motion to approve. Second. I was only saying it once.
I waited just a second.
Any questions? Do you have anything to say, present on that, Terry? No? All those in favor? Opposed? Passes. Item 13 is discussion of items not on the agenda for the council of the public. Anybody in the public have anything that's not on the agenda? Richard?
I talked for an hour.
That was long.
Tracy?
I guess I just want to second what Sue said about the employees at the election. It just went so smoothly. Jackie was on top of her game, so I just wanted to publicly thank her and the crew for that. It was a really well-run machine.
Thanks. Anything else? All right, upcoming public hearings or committee assignments. Do we have any committee assignments for next month? Or we just have the public hearing coming up on the
Are we gonna do infrastructure?
We're gonna do something with the.
playground?
Yep.
Probably ought to just have that set and see where,
Yeah,
see
and we
where we have
can
a
always
committee.
cancel it when we
Yep.
say yes, and then if we
Yep.
don't,
Well,
we can't get there.
okay.
Does that work?
So you wanted,
Let's have an infrastructure committee
we're
meeting
gonna have to do services if you do committee assignments.
to
'cause
appoint the people to the
to
committee.
appoint the people to the
Okay,
committee.
let's start with services and then do an.
Do services at 6, and then that'll be 5 minutes, and
Yeah.
then go into
6:15.
6:15 for infrastructure.
Is Paul on services, or am I just winging it? Just me?
I'll be here at 6.
I'm on services.
Oh, you
Okay, so we're gonna do a 6 o'clock services. What's after that?
6:15
Infrastructure.
And what are we putting on infrastructure?
Playground.
Playground, okay.
And then we'll have the public hearing on the planning board updates.
What times were they, 6?
6 and then
6:15?
Yeah. Yours is at 6, don't be late.
They're both mine.
No, really don't be late.
Public hearing is on the planning
Planning
board.
board update to the chapter, town code.
Yeah, their rates go up, but
Correct.
that doesn't require a charter change.
No, it does require a public hearing.
That's
though.
correct.
Correct.
Yeah.
We have economic development on the 13th. Other than that.
Thank you. Anything else?
Is that a committee? Who's on that committee? What committees am I on?
Well, if you're replacing Jim Morrison, you're on that
Yeah,
committee.
you are.
Yep. 13th? What day?
Monday.
On services.
Monday? What time?
6.
I'll be here.
I'll send you stuff.
You send me stuff.
All right, next item is adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor? Thank you.